This is actually a very small painting, and the reason why I show this because back in the 80s, I decided to do nothing but paint, no figures and nothing, and I loaded the painting with thick paint, large painting. I was teaching at the University of Kentucky at that time, so I had this great studio, and so I did a painting that was probably twice the size of this, with a palette knife and thing and things. That's all I need. Then a friend came in and said, "Why don't you stick something in there, another, after doing about 5 or 6 of those thick ones." So I put in a little figure of James Dean, who was my favorite character in theater. And these figures were actually considered as theatrical kind of voice, which, and they have a kind of a mystery. I don't know why she's burning the thing, but she, whatever. So anyways, next. Now this is a painting I did back, it's about the same size, a little smaller than this, but it's the first painting I did when I came out to this area from, I was in Santa Fe for a while. Anyways, so I moved here and found this beautiful piece of connection of this building that was actually dragged here by, from Vermont, is what I was told. It's like a little church thing. And everybody must recognize this. You know where this is?
No.
I can't remember. I can't remember names.
Wainscott.
Wainscott Field, right? So anyways, okay, next. Then now I'm going back to the other ones. The figures, these are thick paint with the trees. And I put a naked figure here. She's got some covering, but the rabbit and this kid's running around. So it's just whatever. I can't even tell you what it's about. So and I've had this painting now since these paintings I did in the early '80s. So and I had finished my education, RISD, and all that stuff. So I decided to go back home and do these paintings. So anyways, okay, next. This one I did a couple of months ago. And these are reliefs. These figures are not painted. They're carved out and stuck onto the paint, which is the thicker paint. The thicker paint, the better relationship it has. Okay. And the story is, okay, what is the story here? It's Aren't I Beautiful, which is her thinking this, and it brings in some kind of idea for a theater, for a play, the inner workings of somebody's mind. What are they doing? So she's kind of worried, and he's sort of supporting her. Next. And this one is called That Beautiful Horse. The whole idea about this horse is it's going to make it. It's a very happy horse. Because we don't see what's on the other side. If anybody's been climbing mountains, you know that these mountains looks a certain way, but when you get there, it's totally different. So there's a thing. And there's James Dean on the other side. This one is a newer painting. I bounce around. These past 2 years, I bounced around for a while, searching for something new. Okay, so next one. This one is a painting I did by, what's the name of this series? Okay, it's Bay Village. It's on the other side. There's Sag Harbor's in that direction. And I did this painting I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, then I destroyed with color. Screw it. I'll put, the bang, just whatever input I have. So, and of course, color has its own magic and its own beauty. So you can't go wrong with color. You could go wrong with color. You do. It's a messy world, But anyways, next. This one again is much smaller than this, but it's related to the one in the past. But this one I did it straight with the color, no underpainting at all. Anyways, okay, next. This one is done with a series of sketches I did. I go to the beach early in the morning and see the ocean, sky, and I would do several small paintings, sketches, and then come back and to the house, to my studio, and make it large, which is about the same size as this. So has to do with using brush, palette knife, whatever it takes. I don't even remember what I've used. But basically, the fundamental issue of this painting is light. How does light, how does how can light be done with paint? You know, how does it work? You know. So, anyways, next. This is another large one like this, and I just left it the way it is. This is the first sketch. This is where I start. Then I would go in to destroy it, change it. This one, I left it. So, and it's kind of simple, you know, just it's basic composition, clouds, yellow, some clouds there. And this stuff here, I just, bang, 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 nothing, no thought in it at all. But I left it. Okay, next. Here is again sky, clouds, and a nude bather. So, and she's looking at something. She's appreciating this vision of the beauty of nature. What can go wrong there? Nothing. Nature is, to me, the most beautiful thing in this world, and that includes my brain, and your brains, and your minds, and your human beings, and dogs, and cats, and you know, sometimes I'm sorry I have to kill a bug because it's in my house. So the more you notice about life, I think, the more you realize that it's such a fine balance in between us and the rest of the world, the rest of the, you know, including, you know, today I killed about 3 bugs, one outside, and I felt guilty. You know, which I shouldn't, I guess. Okay, next. This one I did of that same area. Wainscott Field. Okay, that area is, to me, a place where I can spend my whole life. In a way, I'm just saying that I wouldn't do that, but it's basically I bring myself there fully. So, 2 more minutes. Okay, change, move on. And this is Suzanne. She's right there. Okay, next. Next. Okay, here's where I'm at now. So, here I'm bringing in some science, because what is the sky? It's when you blow up, magnify the sky, you know there's particles there, all kinds of particles that creating atmosphere. But I put a character in there. She's enjoying this whole thing. Okay, next. Another one. So this is where I'm at today. And what I do here, bang, a bang, a bang, it just, it's motion and trust. Okay, next. And that's the size 2. This one's a little smaller. Same kind of thing. This one's actually a small version. Okay, next. And this one's about the same size. So this one is called, what is it called? Santa Fe. Santa Fe. I had a love for Santa Fe, but I decided not to move there because it was changing too fast. Because becoming, you have to be very wealthy to live there. Not like that. So I ended up here. So what's the, you know? when I came here, I saw signs for Sag Harbor, right? So I asked my what do you call it? I said, what about Sag Harbor? She said, you would not want to live there. I said, why not? She said, it's all run down. It's all run down. I like that. Anyways, I bought a house, and everything was for sale, $90,000, $100,000. It was cheap. I was living in Boston where things were like $600,000, just a regular house. Okay, next. Okay, this one is also relatively small. Okay, much smaller than this. Okay, the next. Okay, this one is very thick paints, Okay, and one more, I think I have one more. This is the last one. So, it's exact same size, maybe a little bit bigger. So these are, I like large, but I also like small. If you can do Vermeer, the biggest painting he did was this big. And then when he died, nobody knew him for 300 years. And he would trade paintings for food. He had 10 children, so he had to feed his kids. But he had a wife's mother who was very supportive, and she really helped him. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. So this is the last painting I pretty much worked on that I've done. So there you go.
Questions. One, what is your medium for the paintings?
I experimented with everything, egg tempera, everything, but oil paint, oil paint, oil paint, oil paints.
The second question was on the collage figures on one painting. What were they made of?
What is it called? What is it?
Clay.
Like clay. It could be anything. Just they're not fully rounded. It's just like that. So they're clay. Okay. All right.